Today we need to be honest. Bitcoin looks great. It's above $100,000. But the fact that it's above $100,000 and it's not pumping any higher right now, it's having these little pullbacks and it's not pumping up higher. It's making me look at this chart go, oh boy, are we really done? Like, is this it? Is this the slow grind down to the bear market bottom, whenever that's going to be? I'm going to be looking at a lot of charts, a lot of timeframes today. And the good news is that no, I still think that this bear market is going to last for another couple of months, but we are definitely much closer to the end than we are to the beginning. We're even way past the middle point of this bull market, in my opinion. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking about all of that in today's video here on Coin Bureau Trading. My name is Dishner from The Better Traders, and you're watching Coin Bureau Trading. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into today's video. Now, I don't want to freak you out too much because I understand the vibe. I can read it real well. I follow a lot of good accounts on X and a lot of really bad accounts on X. And the reason for that, as well as YouTube channels, and the reason for that is simple. It's basically social analysis. It's me looking at the market through the lens of other traders to figure out how are other people leaning? What are other people thinking? Especially the worst of the worst and the best of the best. There really is no bad source of information on X. It's all on how you interpret the information and how you use it. So based off of where we are right now in the short term on the daily time frame, and if I'm saying the daily time frame is the short term, that means we're going to be zooming out a lot. But in the short term, I expect Bitcoin to consolidate sideways for a while. How long? Maybe another couple of weeks. I don't know right now, but as good as the price of Bitcoin is, as great as it was that it pushed above the daily TBL cloud here on Sunday and yesterday, it might actually have another drop back inside and close up green today. That's very much possible. But what I want to focus on more of right now is just the fact that even without any indicators on, if we kind of just zoom out here and we think about the grand scheme of things, the fact that Bitcoin was down here in November 2022 at $16,000, and it has since grown from the bottom to the top about 600%. And people are crying up here that things are bad, that the market is bearish. Something's off. Expectations are off for some weird reason, and I don't quite... I know why, because people are over allocated into alts and Bitcoin is king. It's remained king. Nothing about that has changed. But let's talk about short-term price action for BTC. Now, the reason why I keep going back to this indicator is because I have experience using it. You don't have experience using it, not all of you, and that's okay. But I'll tell you right now that any time that the price goes inside of this cloud, the dance is not over. It's not like, oh, it dips in, it goes out. It's just taking a quick dip, like going for a quick dip in a pool on a hot summer day. Nope, it's going back in for more. It's going to be like whitewater rafting, in and out of the water, falling off of the raft over and over and over. Like it's going to be a little bit rocky still. Now, another thing to consider is the fact that we have extremely long and strong overhead resistance here at $106,472. Funny, because when the price of BTC fell on Friday below this level, we haven't seen the price conquer this level yet. Long and strong historical support and resistance levels should be, you should pay a lot of attention to those because those are usually pretty valid. This does not discount the fact that I still am bullish BTC. I still think Bitcoin's going up to 173K, but right now it's struggling with recent historical resistance. It's struggling with this idea of consolidating sideways. But in this video, I want to zoom out to the weekly for lots of good reasons. One of the primary reasons is it helps us to get a better tab, a better feel on the market. And here using the all-time high index, I mean, Bitcoin is doing really well. Price action has slowed down considerably comparing this market to like the 2020 bull run, which was incredible. From October 2020 up here to April, it was up 559% over half a year. This rally was just insane. Really, it was 2015 September, right up here to 2017 So it's a 2-year rally up 8,515%. So it's a little bit tricky. I understand. And I understand that a lot of you are feeling a little bit disenfranchised right now about crypto. But just because you're feeling bad doesn't mean that we give up here. I first want to tackle something here on the weekly time frame that someone asked me about and they pinged me about in the Coin Bureau Discord server, in the Coin Bureau Club. And that, I don't have the exact drawing, but they had some sort of drawing like this, where they said, well, Bitcoin is really struggling with support or resistance, historical resistance levels right now, and that's why Bitcoin can't break up higher. Sure, we could possibly say that if we draw proper resistance up here, the price of Bitcoin, and I would say proper resistance because we're always going to be using the extreme highs and extreme lows. So the extreme highs here on the weekly, this top here in April 2021 to November 2021 gives us a target, and we actually see the price struggling to push above it. So okay, that's legit, but May, we've been above this level. We're continuing to be above this level. It's not really an issue. We could fall below again, but it's not as likely in my opinion. So this isn't really a point of concern at all for me. What I think is a better point of concern is looking at volume and RSI. Now we're going to start with RSI first. You guys have heard me talk about RSI a lot. I have videos here on this channel with a lot of information on how I use RSI. Now the main thing you need to know about me and RSI is I'll trade it very differently from the daily time frame to the weekly time frame to the monthly time frame. I'm going to be interpreting it extremely, my interpretation is going to vary based on the time frame. That's not me trying to backfit some sort of strategy. It's just how RSI works and how it has worked really well for BTC and other assets, specifically crypto. Now, on the weekly time frame, one thing to take note of that I don't like admitting, and this is the part of me that goes, is looking here, December 2023, weekly RSI was at 93.56. We have weekly RSI here at 93.58. So it's slightly higher, but it is a double top. Since then, weekly RSI has been in a slump. Yes, we've seen some pretty big drops on RSI on the weekly time frame. We haven't necessarily gone like full-blown oversold on RSI, but this is a little bit concerning, especially considering the fact that this high for RSI was when the price of Bitcoin is at 70K. Then this high was up here at 107K, and now we're at a next high, and it's slightly lower. And the reason that's maybe a little bit worrying for me is that whenever we see RSI losing strength while the price is going up higher is typically a sign of weakness. And I get uncomfortable saying that because, again, my thesis is still 173K November this year. We'll see. But when I look at this doesn't make me feel good. I don't have the warm fuzzies looking at this. The other thing I look at as well to gauge strength and sentiment is volume. Now, weekly volume for the all-time high index, which we're looking at right now, is going to vary dramatically from Bitstamp's weekly volume and, of course, Binance's weekly volume. You all know that I like to use the Binance USDT chart because this is the chart that has the most volume. We need to follow the volume. We need to see which exchange has the most volume because that will give us the most information. We had a couple of really good weeks of volume, specifically this one and this one, but we haven't seen volume outperforming this moving average over and over and over. Now, I want to switch over to this guy because it gives a better picture. It's a little bit underwhelming, which means that while the price action is exciting, we don't have the volume to sustain the price action yet. Aaron, how can you say this? You just said Bitcoin to 173K in November. I know, trust me. Conflicted much? Yeah, you could say so, because we have price going up higher, but we have RSI falling. We have price going up higher, but volume is lessening. It's falling as well on the weekly time frame. So as bullish as I am, I also can't help but want to remind you to just take a little bit of profits out of your position. There's nothing wrong. No one ever went broke taking a little bit of profit. I'm not saying that this is the top. I'm not saying that this is going to be the start of another drawdown here to 70K or something like that. I'm not one of those guys, but I can't help but ignore the short-term signals, or actually these are more long-term signals, that there is some weakness in the price of Bitcoin. Now, this does not discount the fact that Bitcoin could still rip higher. And that's why I'm on this chart. So I want to show you over here. Let's go back actually over here to this chart. This rally is insane. For one, we saw weekly RSI max out here when Bitcoin is at $703. And then it moved a new high, maxed out again at 95. Then it put in a new high at 95.38. And then it kept, notice that by the way, 95.73, 95.38. So it was a little bit lower. But we see these highs, pushes again 86, 89, 93.37, and see the volume increasing right there. So this is what I'm paying attention to. We could still see, as crazy as it is, we could still see weekly RSI shoot way back here up to 80, up to 90, up to 95. It could definitely happen. Just because it's not happening now does not mean it will not happen again. The other thing that's important to keep in mind as well is volume. We had periods back over here when this market was recovering where we'd have really good bursts of volume and then it's dead. Good bursts of volume, and then we see this. Now this is 2017, and this was just insane. Week over week over week. Only 1 week where the volume was not exceeding this yellow moving average. The unfortunate part about this is that we really haven't seen a market that's similar to that. I mean, this is a 2019 rally. Looking over here, this is our 2020 rally. It was a lot shorter than that 2017 one. So you might be wondering, okay, what does that look like now in terms of volume? We saw like a little bit of something in March, a little bit of something in December, but nothing close to this kind of a move. Nothing close to this kind of a move, which again leads me to believe that we're just not there yet. I know a lot of us are in the car asking mom and dad, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Is the bull market really going to be taken off yet? I mean, yes, on balance, volume is moving up higher. Yes, it looks great. Yes, RSI is showing these signs of weakness. Yes, volume is looking incredible. But one thing that hasn't happened yet, and I think this is the biggest reason why I'm still sticking to my bullish thesis, is right here on TBD Base to quote. Can you see it? Can you see what I see? I know it's too early for Christmas, but do you see what I see? If you don't, it's okay. I'm going to show you in just a second. But before we get there, I want to remind you, in the description below this video, there are tons of links for exchanges. Even if we're at a short-term pause, even if Bitcoin's going to chop solidate, even if it's going to have a pullback, it's actually to your benefit to be a trader right now. Days like today, where we're seeing Bitcoin pause, but alts have already recovered, just saw like a nice little push while Bitcoin's pausing, it begs the case, or actually it makes the case, that trading is an excellent way for you to grow your portfolio while you're waiting on your long-term holds. So we have exchanges here, CoinCatch, 2bit. Both of these are non-KYC requiring exchanges. You actually get bonuses when you sign up and have enough trading volume. You get a bonus, you get a kickback. When you use these links for CoinCatch or for Bybit, it also supports me and also Coin Bureau as well. Instead of charging you guys for all the content that we provide for free here on YouTube, clicking these also helps to support us, which is great. I should add that CoinCatch and 2bit are both accessible to people that are in the United States. So a lot of you that can't access leverage trading tools in the US, you can, and these are legit exchanges that allow you to do that. There are also way more crypto deals on the Coin Bureau website. If you go to coinbureau.com/deals, the first thing that you are encouraged to join is the Coin Bureau Club. It's the Discord server that I mentioned before. Dan, my co-host on this channel, plus Guy and Nick are posting on the Discord server a lot, sharing their insights, answering your questions, providing research, deep research, as you know, Coin Bureau is really well known for. There are other exchanges to sign up for. Plus, there's also a discount off of our course, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom, at thebettertraders.com. When you hit the Buy Now button, going to be taken to thebettertraders.com, where this course is basically lifetime access. You get one-to-one coaching. You get a month free trial of the TBO indicator, plus a lot of other stuff. So there's a lot of resources available to you as a trader. And this is the Coin Bureau, I say this all the time, the Coin Bureau trading channel. So I'm going to be approaching everything with the lens, or from the lens rather, of a trader. Now, looking at this chart, I hope that you see what I see. There's two things about this. One's a good thing, one's a bad thing. One is like a yay, one is a ugh. So the first thing is the moving average here. Note, we have a high back over here in 2018 in May. We see the average at about 3.8 billion. Then it falls down, get a bump in the middle, and then it really rips to the next level. Falls down, get a bump in the middle, starts raising up higher, but this is where we all are right now. This is the whole vibe. It's like, is it happening? Is it happening yet? I think it should be happening now. Shouldn't it be happening? Why isn't it happening right now? This is the vibe right now. So we've just been not rugged, but our expectations have definitely not been met as far as what's happened in previous cycles. But here's what I will say, looking at this graph, looking at this volume indicator, is that we saw a massive run up, not just in recorded volume, but in the moving average. And it fell back down. A massive run up, and it fell back down. No, there's actually no massive run up yet. We actually saw an increase here in the moving average, and this is going to be a little bit finicky, but an increase of 216% in weekly volume. We haven't exceeded that yet. We haven't even gotten close to, we're actually not even above this level yet, which is wild. Now I'm sticking with this one, the index, because it's aggregating volume from lots of different exchanges. And unfortunately for BTC USDT on Binance was fudging their volume numbers, which is why there was a sharp decrease in volume, really big, and then blah. So this is not as reliable. We could use Bitstamp, but Bitstamp is also a lower volume exchange. Let's go ahead and use actually Coinbase. So Coinbase has just barely eked out above the high here at 6.9 billion, but just barely. It's not even the same. I mean, we have the bump, there's the hump, and then it goes, rips higher. Here's our bump, and it's even curling down on this one too, which is not good on the weekly, to be honest. So if you're disappointed with price action, you have every right to be, because it's not lining up like the previous one. But with that said, this is telling me that even here on Coinbase, volume, the average volume increased by 300%. Going over here to Bitstamp, volume increased 97%. We should see some sort of a bounce from here. So again, this index, the all-time high index up 200%. We're not seeing it yet. So this alone gives me a lot of confidence to go, you know, as much as I love BTC, I really think that it's not done. I think it's going to go higher, and I really want it to finish so that alts, all of these picks, can really start ripping. I think that's what a lot of us are waiting for too. I want to push this further to the monthly for a really good reason. The monthly is one of the best ways for us to track how bullish the market really is, especially in terms of volume and RSI. So we're going to start first with RSI. You might remember a video that I shared. I don't have it queued up. It's in my playlist, and I'll make sure to add it to the end of this video. But essentially, it's like the ultimate top signal, and that has to do with monthly RSI. When monthly RSI tends to get above 90, that's a really good top signal. We have a high here of 90.74, and I know it's like clench your butt cheeks, like I don't want this to be the market high. And it's not, because the high here was 73K, and here we are at $105,000. While this kind of happened back over here in November, there are other things at fault, and that's only a 20% increase. This increase is 51%. It's a significant increase, in my opinion. Looking over here, we didn't see anything like that in 2017. We just saw a big rejection. That was it. Here's our top in 2021, March, and rejection down to our bear market. There it is, done. And now we have a move up. I just can't shake the feeling that, yes, we've moved up prematurely for many reasons. One was the Bitcoin spot ETF. Two was Trump's nomination as president. People had a lot of bullish expectations for that, which did force the price of a lot of things to go up higher, like Bitcoin, even though we had a pullback. So I'm looking at RSI going, I'm just seeing it look weak, seeing it look really lame. So my expectations are definitely not met. We could almost say that it's like a mid-cycle rally like we saw back in 2019, but it's not really fair because the mid-cycle rally didn't put in a new high. So it's not really the same. Again, expectations not being met. Volume, looking at monthly volume, we can see the moving average moving up a whole lot and then getting kind of smacked down. We got a little bit of a retracement, just like back over here before it ripped higher. We're not really seeing it really pump up yet, which leads me to believe that we are still early. We're still due, I guess you could say. Even Bitstamp volume is down. Even on Coinbase, monthly volume is back to where it was. We should be wildly exceeding that moving average. I mean, it should just be up like monumentally. We're not there. So do I think that the market is done? No. Absolutely not. I still think that this is still a great time to be trading, which is exactly what my bots on AllTrading are doing. My bots are still doing great. 983 closed trades with a 100% win rate. So that's why I like DCA bot trading. Realized profit and loss, $470. So 33% profit off of my allocated amount. I have an unrealized profit and loss, which is basically I'm waiting for all these positions to close. But this is insane. Like, this is a ridiculously amazing strategy that works, and it's using free signals. I've already shared this before. I shared it actually back over here in November. So if you had been following the signals from there, $60 all the way up to $469 using the same amounts, like, there's a reason why I'm a bot trader. There's a reason why I teach DCA bot trading. There's a reason why I avoid leverage trading for the most part, even though I do have some automated longs that open up with leverage. But this is one of the reasons why I love bot trading, because it's passively making profits and accumulating in the background even when I'm making a video like this for all of you lovely people. I'm not trying to rub it in, but I'm trying to show you that while we're waiting for Bitcoin to make the next push up to 173K, maybe higher, I don't know, but I still think that it's coming. I think that what we're seeing in terms of RSI, what we're seeing in terms of volume is not that it's unacceptable, but it's definitely not there yet. We aren't at these peak euphoric levels yet, which should get you really excited thinking about the potential. It should be exciting for you. But I know that too many of us are focused on the daily time frame. We're focused on all of these up 6% one day, down 4% one day, and it's really messing with you. Zoom out. So when I zoom out, I see that, yes, we're basically underperforming. Bitcoin is underperforming right now, but we haven't reached a high. We really haven't reached a market top. We have not hit that euphoric top yet, which is wild because the price of Bitcoin is just chilling out at $105,000, which is crazy. But here we are. Now, I want to give a lot of you some peace of mind and to help you out a little bit too in terms of alts, because I know a lot of you love trading alts. I am trading alts as well. That's what actually this bot is doing. It's trading a lot of alts. Actually, the most profitable alts that it's trading are right here. You can see Sui, Aave, Shib, Litecoin, Link, Solana. I like trading alts too, believe me. But the one thing that you cannot afford to ignore is Bitcoin dominance. And I know a lot of us are so tired of hearing about Bitcoin dominance. Believe me, I cannot wait for Bitcoin dominance to dump. And I want to give you a couple of things to look forward to. So we can't really use volume for Bitcoin dominance because it's a percentage. We can use RSI, and we're on the monthly chart on purpose because I want to let you know something. Monthly RSI topped out here on the first week of October at 82.77. You can clearly see that there's another peak right here. This one is at 81.5, right here and right here. Now, what's the big deal about this? It's going up higher, Aaron. What are you talking about? What are you trying to hide, or what are you trying to show right now? I don't get it. Here's the deal. Anytime you get a new high on RSI, and I don't like saying this because this is completely applicable to Bitcoin's weekly chart, which is why I'm being careful with my words. I don't want to trigger you guys. But the reality is that when RSI on the weekly time frame, even on the daily, even on the monthly, which we're on right now, when it makes a high, that's like a mountaintop. That's like Mount Everest. And if you didn't know, Mount Everest is actually surrounded by other mountain peaks, but it's not the tallest. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we could continue to see Bitcoin dominance move up higher, but because RSI on the monthly time frame didn't meet or exceed 82.77, this is the beginning of the end for Bitcoin dominance. I know it seems crazy, especially because if we look at this rally, like Bitcoin dominance has been on an uptrend since November 2022, up currently 62%. I know it seems like, wait, no, what? We have a local high here, September 2019, right over here, January 2021. It peaked out at 73. Could it go higher? It really could, but check this out. What happened back over here is kind of what's happening now. We had a high of 77.75. Then right here, we had a lower high, 71, and we saw Bitcoin dominance fall off. Even after making another rally back over here at 69.47, it didn't even get overbought. This right here to right here, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that slow sign of strength falling for Bitcoin dominance. It's been teasing above 70 over and over and over, and it had a huge push to 82.77. Now it has a lower high. This is what I believe is going to be the beginning of the end for Bitcoin dominance. And the reason why this is such a good thing for Bitcoin dominance is because it will allow alts to absolutely rip. We want Bitcoin dominance to dump, because when Bitcoin dominance dumps, all of these altcoins will go absolutely insane bananas. And trust me when I say that they want to, because others' dominance on the monthly is bad. It's not yet oversold, but it's at the bottom of its range, just like it was December 2022. Pay attention. Just like it was June 2023, before there was a nice rally of 146% in terms of RSI strength. That's right here, by the way. So we saw a pretty nice rally. RSI, monthly RSI for others' dominance, is at that low again. Now, could it go lower? Sure, just like Bitcoin dominance could go higher. But we are at the low of the range. Okay, last thing I'll say. Others market cap on the monthly time frame. This is another thing that you should be watching, because others tells us what the overall vibe is for the market. Now, this is a little bit silly because the month just got started and we're already looking at 10, whatever this number is, already reported. Volume is a little bit funny for this chart. But the main thing I can see right here is we have a peak in March, a peak in December 2024. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen at the end of this month, but we can clearly see that we're seeing the moving average moving up. We're seeing interest. We're seeing these spikes again. If we look at RSI, it's actually not even close to being overbought, which would be top peak euphoria, like we saw over here, April 2021, like we saw during this rally in 2017, especially topping out here in January 2018. We aren't there yet. And I believe that it's coming. Now, I know this is a big, long video talking about something without saying something. And I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want to freak people out. The reality is that RSI is still not strong bullish on the monthly. We're not at that peak bull market top, but we are headed up that way. The only thing that's going to do it is Bitcoin pumping to new highs. So James Wynn, if you're paying attention, stop trading. You're ruining the market for everybody. No, seriously. What we need to do is just be patient. We know that others' dominance is at the bottom of its range on the monthly, which means that we should see a good uptick in others and alts. We know that Bitcoin dominance is showing signs of weakness on the monthly, but monthly timeframes take months to realize in price action. So don't be too anxious for this stuff to happen right away. So I hope that this video helps. Yes, I'm just as disappointed as you are that Bitcoin is not ripping up to $1 million right away. But the reality is that things are still really good. The reality is that Bitcoin has come a huge way, especially if you think of the bear market bottom in 2018 at $3,000 and now it's at $105,000. So the reality is that we need to zoom out. When we zoom out, yes, the short-term pain is real. The short-term exhaustion on alts is real, but I still fully believe that Bitcoin's going to be moving up to higher highs later this year. I'm going to leave it there. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.